What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with another song from the We Save Us playlist, which we're actually closer to the finish of than I realized. There's 2 more tunes after this, and I'll do those tomorrow. So yeah, we'll be done by midweek with a few days to spare. But this is from Leonard Cohen, an artist Yvonne has shared with me going back many moons, and which I've meant to get to already by now. And I feel like this will be a nice segue, meaning I'm going to create a Leonard Cohen playlist for this song and for all future Leonard Cohen reactions. But yes, it is a nice coming together of something which probably should have already started, and its actual initiation as part of this larger playlist, which again, provided in the majority by Kim, but contributions from Yvonne and also Michaela. And yes, this is a tune called Anthem, and I want to quote directly here. Speaking of quotes, the one from Tears for Fears Kim applied to this is from their, I believe, compilation, Saturnine, Marshall, and Lunatic, I think from '96, and the tune Bloodletting Go, which, if I'm remembering correctly, I think Kim mentioned is from actually 1993. Yes, 1993, and the quote is, "If I care for nothing, sun don't shine and the grass don't grow." And Kim's note about this one is, it's pure poetry, everything will pass, good times, bad times, and don't worry about the future. And then I think she quotes from the song here, "Ring the bells that can still can ring, there is a crack in everything, that's how the light gets in." I absolutely love that. And Kim's final note on the primer for this one is a beautiful song of hope and resilience. And indeed, these last few songs I think will provide a bit of solace, inspiration, and resilience, which I feel like many of us need at this time. So yes, I don't know anything about Leonard Cohen. I mean, people have talked about him. I did a reaction to a Joni Mitchell tune, and people mentioned, this is seen pretty clearly as talking about Leonard Cohen because they had a connection for a part of their lives and career. And thus, I know of him. I've heard a bit about his reputation in the musical world, but I don't think, so far as I know, I've ever heard anything directly. And if I have, I certainly can't recall it as I go to do this reaction. So let's give it a listen. This is Leonard Cohen. The song is Anthem, and apparently this is from 1992 and an album called The Future. And away we go.
The birds they sing at the break of day. Start again, I heard them say, don't dwell on what has passed away or what is yet to be. Yeah, the war, they will be fought again. The holy dove, she will be cut again. Bought and sold and bought again. The dove is never free. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. We asked for signs, the signs were sent. The birth betrayed, the marriage spent. Yeah, the widowhood of every government. Signs for all to see. I can't run no more with that summoned up a thundercloud. Now could hear from me. Ring the bell that still could ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. You can add up the parts, you won't have the sum. You can strike up the march, there is no drum. Every heart to love will come, but like a refugee. Ring the bell that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in.
Just thinking, I wonder what it's going to do next. It might start to fade, it might come to a soft ending, or it might, roll back the chorus one more time, and right as I was thinking that, it faded. Yes, a beautiful, and poetic tune. His voice is different than I expected, so again, I think that's a clear indication I've never heard him before, because when he came in, he was like deeper and more heavy in his delivery than I thought. Now, I didn't really have any expectations, but yeah, his voice took me by surprise, but it has this really nice resonance to it, and absolutely the lyrics are inspiring, hopeful, and resilient, and also I think wise in the sense that, sometimes we seek the ideal, we want things to click into place perfectly and to stay that way forever, and given that we are mortal beings, given that large amalgamations of humans don't always agree on things, and wars have been fought in the past and they're going to keep being fought in the future, and again these cycles of discord, relative calm, and all manner of human activity in between those extremes, they will likely continue, and we are all, in our own trajectories, fellow passengers to the grave, as Dickens once put it, and so we need to not get hung up on the past. We need to not worry too much about the future. We need to ring the bells in the present that still can be rung. We need to find hope and inspiration and camaraderie and creativity and enjoyment and connections such that we can. And sometimes we'll be more turbulent than others, sometimes we'll be more tranquil and placid, but we have to recognize that nothing is perfect, and we need to not seek these, perfect offerings. We need, forget about that, because that's an ideal, that's a phantasm, a chimera, which will ultimately maybe let us become too focused on the ideal and fail to enjoy or to appreciate or create what is possible right here in front of us and among us. So I do think that is a very profound message, and I think the particular line that Kim highlighted about, there's a crack in everything, and in many cases that's how the light gets in, that's how we can see through the dark times, and that's how we know that, again, we're mortal and fragile and things can fall apart. So we need to not put all our eggs in the basket of, I want everything to be perfect and to stay that way, because it's simply not going to be that. And to know that those cracks on both sides of the spectrum will characterize our mortal existence and our transitory nature on this planet and in the sun is the first step to getting to that next level of still ringing the bells that can be rung and experiencing what is there to be had, if we can only, again, not get stuck in the past, not get overly and unhealthily fixated on the future. So yeah, I think it is very profound. I love the orchestration, which is to say, I think there's like pizzicato strings, a really notable element in there. I think there's also some exquisite bowed strings. Obviously there's like a gospel choir sort of feel, and making reference to the dove, which not just in like one religious cultural tradition, but that is certainly a cultural touchstone and an understanding or a metaphor for freedom and for peace and for open skies and possibilities in a number of cultures. So I enjoy the phrasing, the poetic phrasing of these profound sentiments. So a really fantastic tune. Thank you again to Yvonne, not only for providing this for this playlist, but again, whether it's Rufus Wainwright or Leonard Cohen, some of these things she shared with me a while back, and we're only just getting to them now. So as with all these other deep dives that I'm doing, some of which, again, were in my possession long before they began, I appreciate not only the generosity and the enthusiasm, but the patience as we all continue through life, and in our own small way on this little corner of the internet, we find some measure of friendship, camaraderie, enjoyment, inspiration, and entertainment. So thank you to everyone who makes this channel and my life what it is, and have improved and enhanced other people's lives who come here, again, to share and to enjoy. So yes, I'm very much looking forward to the final two tunes in the playlist. Let me know what you think of this one, and I will see you for the next one. Peace.